I'm standing right behind the Edenville Dam. See it over my shoulder here. Pretty cool to be standing this close to the dam. Before we get this video started though, I want to thank my new patrons, Rachel and Greg. You're allowing me to continue following these stories. Without your guys' support, I would not be able to continue coming out here and doing these videos. Also, if you want to support me, my links for my Patreon and PayPal account are in the links in the description down below. And also for people sending me letters through the mail. So huge thanks to Ted. If you want to send me anything, I'll pop my P.O. box up on the screen right now as well. And there's been a lot of people asking about what's happening up at Secord Dam. So that video will be coming very soon. But if you want to see day-to-day activities as to what's happening up there, you want to go ahead and support the GoFundMe page. The link for that is also in the description down below, but through that camera, I will have a 24/7 live feed that you'd be able to go on there whenever you want and actually see as to what work's going on up there at Secord Dam. Let me turn the camera around now real quick and we'll take a closer look here at Edenville Dam. So standing right in front, or actually behind the powerhouse here. So the impellers and turbines would be right here. We can see the exits right down there. There's actually a tree in here yet, a little bit of water. Spillways are right over here in this direction. And then behind me here is actually the old river path. So right where I'm standing used to be where the water would flow right through here when it exited the back of the dam. So let me cross over this side real quick, show you the view over here. Probably a week ago, Fisher was in here. They were clearing out all the sediment from the old river path. So we can see how nice and level it is. They removed all the sediment, so the river level is back to what it used to be. A lot of the sediment that came in here washed out from the earthen embankment. The sediment has been trucked over to the other side of these trees and deposited right along the new river path. So that river path will be filled in when these spillways here are lowered at Edenville Dam. You can see the work going on right here. They just put a lot of stone in here yesterday so that they were able to bring in a lift, ride right over top of the sill and get closer because they're going to be removing the Tainer gates up here on the top of Edenville Dam very soon. After the Tainer gates are removed, then they will go ahead and start spillway demolition, removing that spillway just like they did on the Tobacco River Dam. Once that spillway has been lowered, then they can go ahead and redirect the water flow from over there on the new river path to coming over here through the old river path and this river once again restored. Let's run up here real quick. I know there's quite a few people that want to check out the backs of the spillway here on Edenville Dam. There's that grate that's on the front of the dam, and that actually comes down into a clean out here at the back of the dam. So we'll run over here real quick. Like I said, here's a lot of that stone. Looks like this guy's just doing a little bit more leveling. You can kind of get a perspective as to how big these dams really are. But yeah, right down here is this rectangle. And this was actually used for, let me jump down here real quick. This was used for when they were constructing the dam. They could allow the river to continue to flow through this dam while they went ahead and built it up here on top. So that river would flow through here. I'm not gonna go inside of here, but you can just take a look at the interior of this dam right here. So that right there is the other side of the spillway. Couple supports in here. And then over on the other side would be the grates. And somehow they went ahead and raised these gates here and lowered them to be able to allow water to flow through here. You can see a little bit of the rebar sticking out of the dam right here. Come around on this side. Looks like there's a little hole here as well as here. So these probably are underneath the bottom concrete portion of this dam to allow water to flow from underneath that concrete pad. Pretty cool standing here right below the gates. And the powerhouse is right over there. So we should be getting a tour of the powerhouse coming up soon too. Hopefully I'm able to arrange that, but that will be a really neat video. I know there was a lot of people that wanted to see inside of there and see what things look like. They are in pretty dire conditions. You know, they've been abandoned for quite a while right now, but work is just starting here. Can't emphasize that enough. This work is progressing so fast. Fisher Contracting is a great company, and they just come in here and just hammer stuff out. So right now I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna head on over to the other side of the dam real quick, check out the work over there, and then we will head downriver and check out the excavating work that is happening over there as well. Before we head over to the front side of the dam, I'm going to jump in here with a little bit of drone video and kind of describe what's happening here. This drone video was actually filmed the day before I was there filming on site. See, they have the crane over here on the east side of the dam. We'll come around the front side. We can see that they have this embankment that they put in front of the dam all tarped up. That's to keep the moisture inside of the clay. And a little bit later on in this video, I'll actually show you guys where this clay has came from. Just a little ways down the road on M30, digging a nice little pond there. There's a lot of water in front of the dam here right now, but you'll notice when I was there the next day, they almost had all of this water located right here in front of the dam pumped out of there. You can actually see a little bit of that pass-through drains in the first spillway there. Go ahead, we'll take a little bit of a look down though. Inspect this embankment a little bit with the drone. You can see they have a couple sandbags on that tarp to keep the moisture in and keep that tarp from blowing away. A lot of riprap lining the road, and what they did was they laid that riprap down and then they just covered it right with clay so that that water wasn't able to pass through from the riverside. Then they were able to pump out the water over here on the side located closest to the dam. So like I said, we'll get down nice and close, take a look right into these pass-through gates, and then we'll actually be able to see this in person. In a couple more minutes here, I actually was able to stand right there in front of those gates and look at those pass-throughs in person, so a little bit closer view. Again, this was the day before I was filming there in person, so we could see how much nice gravel they have laid right up to the sill. This was for them to be able to drive the lift right up to the edge of the sill so that they could stand on the lift and be able to cut the gates off. So that's what they were working on this week when I'm filming this voiceover. All of those gates, the Tainer gates, have been removed, and I got some awesome video of that I'll be able to share with you guys. But yeah, here's a nice look at the backside of the Edenville spillway. A little bit of rebar sticking out of the backside of the spillway, and notice the orange painted marks over here on the right of the tail race wall. I'll tell you what those are when I move to the front side of the dam. But right now I'm going to just gain a little bit of altitude with the drone. We'll fly over here to the front and check out things over here on this side. So nice shot of the backside of that embankment that they laid. You can see all the riprap in there. I'll mention this later on in the video as well, but I do have an opportunity to go down to Bayport where they haul the riprap out of and get a tour of the quarry down there. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. I think it would be pretty cool, especially if I was there on a day that they were blasting, to actually see that riprap come right out of the ground. That's where Fisher Contracting does get their riprap from. So another nice close shot up here behind the backside of the dam. These pass-through gates are just really intriguing to me down here at the bottom of the dam. So I definitely got down there when I was in person and checked those out. Really like to know a little bit more about how those actually used to work. This shot was actually filmed the day that I was there filming in person though, and we can see that they are maneuvering. This is a 100-ton crane to the backside of the dam. And again, this is just in preparation to be able to lift out those Tainer gates. It was pretty cool seeing that today. They went ahead and cut off the Tainer gates and then just lifted them out of there with the crane. removed a little bit of the deck up on top as well. So just another aerial shot here. We're probably up at about 100 feet in altitude. And we're just going to watch this crane a little bit maneuver over here behind the backside of the dam. Again, the lift is already over there. It was just a little bit of prep work to make sure that things went smoothly with the removal. Again, kind of got to watch where I'm flying here with these electrical lines down here. The top one is very hard to see. The bottom three are a little bit easier though. And this was actually after, the day after I was there filming in person. So they went ahead, they had all the Tanner gates lowered down all the way, and they have the crane positioned right where it needs to be able to fly those Tanner gates out. We'll go around to the back side, take a look at how things are over here. Again, they got the lift down there. Looks like they were able to lift off the winch hoist, the old hoist that used to raise and lower those Tanner gates as well. And now we're just up probably about 50 feet in altitude, right behind the crane, just looking down at the Tanner gates. This shot we're facing towards the north, so the river up at the top of the screen is the Tittabawassee River, and we'll just kind of come around this side of the Edenville Dam and take a look at the Tanner gates one last time before they're removed for the final time off of Edenville Dam here. So another good shot of the powerhouse over here on the left-hand side of the screen. There's a guy up here on the top of the embankment. Looks like he's surveying or doing something with the survey. We are now in the front of Edenville Dam. You can see it right here. A lot of interesting things going on here. So here is the Tittabawassee River. It's flowing right over here and going down to the new river path down that direction. The Edenville Falls are just over there. And right now they laid a lot of this riprap in here, and then they came around and covered it up with this clay. So right now these barriers here are keeping the moisture in the clay. That little wall right there is directing that flow over that direction so that this embankment doesn't get eroded away by that river flow. Actually, when they go ahead and this water level gets dropped a little bit, last time I was out here you may have noticed the biologists that were in the background. They were looking for those endangered freshwater mussels, just kind of making sure that there's none in here. If there is any in here when the water gets lowered, that they're kind of moving them. So it's pretty interesting. You may have noticed that there was a steel sheet pile cutoff wall that was being installed here, and that cutoff wall was actually being way over engineered. And actually by changing the kind of planned to install this clay embankment layer here, they saved a lot of money. I'm not going to give you the exact figure, but switching from that sheet pile cutoff wall to this clay embankment to kind of make sure that the water doesn't come over top of this. This is designed 1 foot higher than it would take for a 200-year flood, so pretty safe. But yeah, like I said, that was saving them a lot of money to do that. Let's walk on over here a little bit further towards the front of Edenville Dam. We'll take a closer look. These big bags over here, I've been kind of wondering what they are, and I was correct that they actually are just giant sandbags. I think he said they're called super bags, to direct, if any water did come up here, it would direct the water from the embankment so this did not erode any further. You may notice these things painted right here up along this side. These are called prisms. So these are able to actually be shot like for survey, and they're able to tell if this retaining wall has moved or shifted at all when they go ahead and start demolishing the spillway or removing the embankment over here a little bit more. Just for engineering, they're able to tell if anything shifted. You kind of see right up there. So these are all prisms located on this retaining wall. There's some over there on that retaining wall and on the opposite side. So definitely interesting tidbit of information there. Let's actually see how hard this clay is down here and see if I can walk up to the front of Edenville Dam. So these are the spillways right here. Like I said, they're going to be demolishing those very soon after the Tanner gates are removed. There's a pump down here right now that they're pumping out this water over to the other side of the embankment. But right here is those pass-throughs. So we can kind of see that when they were building this dam, this would allow the water, the Tittabawassee River, the existing river, to continue flowing through these gates. These grates are on the front of them, but you can kind of see right down in there, it's almost like a little circular baffle, it looks like, that would rotate up and allow water through there. So here's this one on this side, exactly the same as well. A lot of zebra mussels on here. And then these spillways here are actually the ones that are directly in front of the powerhouse. So water would flow through here into the impeller, the turbines, and exit the back of the dam. It's definitely interesting seeing this here for the first time. Definitely have never been to this spot before. Let's walk back this way a little bit further now. Take a look at the retaining wall. A lot of sand piled right up here right now. Here's the retaining wall though. See directly up it. A lot of those zebra mussels up there. And then over to the old Tanner Gates. Stump is still sitting up there right now. Over here, not sure what this was for, but look at this concrete portion that comes right out here. And then there's looks like 2 eye bolts that are anchored to the very tip of it. So that must have had some use when they were going ahead and constructing the dam. Who knows, there actually might be more underneath this sand right here, the sediment, just to kind of anchor these down. Let's head on back over now. We will head on downriver and take a look at the work that's happening with them removing the rest of the plug down there, the plug between the new and old river path. I'm now down here from the south. Kind of hard to see, but you can see the crane right there in the background. That's where Edenville Dam is located. Edenville Falls are actually right here. So right there you can kind of see where there's that drop off, and this is the new river path. Right now they're going ahead and they're pumping out the old river path right here. So they did some nice grading work here on this. Used to be where the plug was. So right now they're working at removing the plug. All the sediment that came from the earthen embankment washed down in here and plugged up the old river path. So we'll keep walking over this way a little bit further. Also, I'm going to mention right here that there will be a lot of raw video at the end of this video. I know there's a lot of people that like to stick around and actually see just some dirt moving happening. So I'll go ahead, I'll film this excavator up here a little bit and you'll see a little bit of that. But we're heading over here now to the old river path. You can see they have a little ditch in here kind of controlling the water flowing through it. And there are a lot of fish over here right now. So let's see if we can see some of these carp. The water's getting a little bit low. Carp are an invasive species, so some of them may be removed from this path and manually moved over to the new river path. But mainly the concern is for that endangered freshwater mussel. There will be a biologist out here in probably about an hour, less than an hour, and they will be evaluating to see if there's any of those freshwater mussels in here. If there are, they're going to go ahead and move them over. So you can start to see a lot of the rippling water here. These are all carp. Take a look right back there in the background. You can see a ton of them. So water's getting lower and lower in here. They're not going to go ahead and remove the sediment up this direction. You can kind of see where they stopped removing it up there behind Edenville Dam. That river continues down this way to right here where we're standing. But pretty much when you go ahead and shove a stake down, there's not much sediment in this river channel. It's very close to being down to clay, hard pan. But right here in this area is where a lot of that sediment has washed from the earthen embankment when it failed. Oh, there goes. Look at that guy. I'm not sure what this is. You can let me guys know. Is it a pike or a muskie? Let's go ahead, toss him down the river, let him flow over there and end up in the new river path. So like I said, probably go ahead, head over there right now, and we'll watch this excavator do some dirt moving, throw the drone up in the air, get a lot of drone video of the whole area, as well as some of this dirt moving from the drone. So pretty cool being out here today. If you made it through this video this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also go down below, leave a like on this video, leave a comment or a question if you have any. I read every single one of those, and I really appreciate everyone for supporting me. And yeah, just really appreciate all my subscribers. So let's go ahead, get the drone up in the air, and we'll check out a few more of those aerial views. Jumping back into the drone video now, we are flying towards the southeast, right here in front of Edenville Dam. So just going to kind of give you guys a perspective of where I will be heading, or where I was just standing in the last video. Again, this was prior to the day that I was out there filming in person, so things might look a little bit different, but we'll actually see a little bit of the pre-work that happened before I got out there and started filming. So Edenville Falls is right here on the left side of the screen. Again, not a lot of water flowing over those right now. Been lacking a little bit of rainfall lately, but now we are seeing the job site down here by the plug. So New River Path over here on the left-hand side, Old River Path right there on the right-hand side. And they were kind of just digging this hole right here where the water is sitting right in the middle of the screen. And this is where they went ahead and sat the pumps. These pumps were able to go ahead and transfer the water out of the Old River Path over into the New River Path to kind of drain a little bit more of that water out of there so that they can go ahead and remove the rest of the plug. That plug is being removed to restore the Old River Path. We'll head on back to the dam again real quick. Kind of just cut through the trees here so I didn't follow up the river path, but I will in a future clip here in this video, and I'll actually fly right up that river path and you can see what that looks like. I actually heard a couple people joking making a drinking game every time I say river path, so that was kind of funny. I know I do say it, New River Path, Old River Path, quite a bit in these videos lately. But over here is the Old River Path. Fisher went ahead, Fisher Contracting, and cleared out the sediment that washed over when the earthen embankment failed, right here behind the backside of this dam. And all of that sediment has been transferred over to along the roadway along the New River Path over there on the right-hand side of the screen. So we're looking up towards the north with the drone now. We are at the backside of Edenville Dam. Definitely great shot showing how lush and green the lake bed is out there right now. Trees are getting tall. They're about probably 8 to 10 feet tall. I'm now jumping back to present day when I was out there filming in person. You can see the water flowing over from that Old River Path to the pumps on the right, getting pumped over to the New River Path. And they were going ahead transferring a lot more of the sediment. Up here you can see where they've been kind of depositing it in this area. So this excavator up here is just going ahead and transferring a little bit of that dirt up a little bit higher so that they could go ahead, get a couple more truckloads in there and stack it a little bit higher elevation. They should be able to get enough dirt and sediment here to be able to fill in the New River Path over on the right-hand side. Put that back to its prior state before that path was flowing in that direction. So over here behind Edenville Dam again, this was just when they were moving the crane over to begin the process of removing or lowering those Tainer gates before they went ahead and removed them. And now I'm over here directly in front of Edenville Dam. Drone is facing towards the west. So another good shot. You can see how little water there is in front of the dam. So this was definitely present day when I was out there. You can see those pass-through gates right in front of the dam. Those are still just so intriguing to me to know how those worked. And just a great shot here looking towards the south now. And like I said, this is a shot of where they're hauling the clay that they went ahead and put over top of the riprap right in front of Edenville Dam to create that clay embankment. This is located at Bradfield's. So we have a Fisher excavator down here as well as Bradfield's bulldozer. Jumping back to the dam now, that job site at Bradfield's is located just down the road at M30. Back here at the dam site though, a lot of work happening with the roadway. Bulldozer was back here kind of leveling off a little bit of the dirt that the off-road dump trucks were hauling. So when I was out there filming in person, that's where They're dumping a lot of the dirt, just kind of repairing a little bit of that roadway because it was starting to get a little soft in that area. And now we're back here, back to where the plug is located. Excavator is going ahead and loading the off-road dump truck, and the pumps are located over here on the left-hand side, pumping the water out of that deeper area from the old river path over here. So I was just kind of dropping in altitude with the drone right now. I wanted to get a shot of, see if I could see any of those fish in here. The shadow is actually from the drone right now, and I'm probably only about 25 to 50 feet above the water. We'll start to see a couple fish though. There's one right there in the center of the screen swimming, and up here near the top you can see there's one trying to swim upriver as well, and a lot of blue herons in this area. They were kind of just picking off a few of those fish that were left in the area. Pretty easy pickings when the water level's that low. So a couple off-road dump trucks passing each other on the roadway, and I'll go ahead and I'll actually follow this one back to the job site. Don't really remember how many ton these are off the top of my head. I think I recall them being 30-ton off-road dump trucks. We'll get a nice shot of the side of one though, and actually be able to look up that model number and verify that though. Excavators down here at this site piling up the dirt like I already said. And a lot of the sediment down here is in the old river path. So this excavator is literally just clearing all the sediment out of where water used to once flow. And like I said before, this is just to restore the water flow in this area. All the sediment deposited here was either from the area where the new river path is currently located or from the Edenville embankment. We can kind of see that there's a little bit of mixture of maybe some black dirt, clay, and then sand ridge right where he's digging right now. So that sand is most likely from the earthen embankment. So we'll watch this off-road dump truck back up a little bit further. We got Fisher's Hyundai HX480L excavator loading him. And I'm over there on the right-hand side. You can see where I'm standing filming out of the way. I do want to mention though that this is private property. People cannot come out here from the public and just trespass on where these job sites are. I get permission before I get out here, and I am escorted when I am on site. So don't feel like you could just go out there and do whatever you want and explore these abandoned dams. It is considered trespassing, and I'm not sure why you'd want to go out there anyways. You see a ton more in my videos than you'd be able to see in person. So just stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it. And also leave any comments or questions you have down below. I read them all and I will reply to every single person if you ask me a question. Also, this is entering into the raw video portion of the video, so I'm going to kind of leave you guys here, but I've enjoyed kind of sharing my day with you and letting you see a little bit of the behind the scenes work happening here at Edenville Dam. So again, on your way out, if you're not going to watch the raw video portion of this video, make sure you subscribe, leave a like and a comment on this video, and until the next one, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below. As always, I just want to give a massive thanks to the people who support me on Patreon. Never underestimate the value of your contribution to keeping this channel going. Thank you.